LDI, Dave Deluxe, let's discuss it. Yeah, I've been following this case for a while. It's bothering me, so I gotta try and cover all the bases here. Now, with this trespassing case in Georgia with this female and this male in the park, I done watched the body cam video. That's the one I suggest everybody watch because that's start to finish. No discrepancies, nothing's cut out. You can see everything that happened and how it transpired. This couple was in the park after 10 p.m., which the sign states no one in the park between hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. as the cop explained to them. Let's just be fair. Look at it from being fair, a fair perspective. It's not nothing about black or white. It's about wrong and right. And I feel she was wrong. I feel the cop was doing his job. He was very patient. He said what needed to be said. He answered questions multiple times. She was just asking the same questions. She wasn't asking questions to understand the situation. She was asking questions to try and see how I could word this. To try and make it okay for a pass to be received. We should get a pass. And that's what I've been on multiple people's pages talking about this subject, and everybody's talking about what the cop should have done. What he should have done. They said he shouldn't have wrestled her to the ground. He kept asking her to put her hands behind her back. And he's the only officer there at the time. It's him and two civilians. He's asking the man to step back and telling her that she's under arrest. Please put your hands behind your back. How many times was he supposed to ask? She just didn't want those cuffs on her. She probably's never been cuffed in her life and didn't want handcuffs on her. But she played it like a game until it got serious. I mean, I've looked at it from every angle. I've watched the video over and over and over again. If you're a fair person and you're looking at it from a fair perspective, you can't blame the cop for what he did. He did his job. You can always say what he should have done. It's a lot of shit he shouldn't have done. He let them go back and her, particularly, go back and forth into her bag. He didn't search none of them. He let her go back and forth into the car. Still didn't search them. When they finally did search one of them, which was the female, was when she got put in the car. And I was kind of upset that there was no female officer there. Like usually when something like that happens, it's a male and a female. They ask a female officer to come to respond to the call so that they could search the female. They took her out the car and another male officer lightly patted her down. If she had something, he wouldn't have found it the way he pat her down. But everyone still sees him as wrong because he tried to force her to the ground. How was he supposed to get this woman's hands behind her back to cuff her? She's under arrest. Ma'am, you're under arrest. Could you please put your hands behind your back? Now, even about the ticket, people were saying he should explain to her that signing a ticket isn't an admission of guilt. She should have read the ticket like the man did. I've had one of those tickets before in Virginia. I was leery to sign it initially. I read for myself as a grown-ass man, as an adult that can read and comprehend the English language, and I signed the ticket. Ticket got dismissed. Never heard from the state again. Nothing happened. No repercussions. No big deal. She made this a big deal. Her attitude, the way she handled the situation. You can't say how the cop should have handled the situation. The cop's been dealing with this all day. This is his job. He's dealing with interactions with people. He's trying to get to the next call, the next phase of the job. It's a job for him. This is how he feeds and supports his family. This woman made his job difficult. She could even ask better questions. She asked this man about 4 times, if not more, his name and badge number. And then he finally said, I'm not telling you again. What was the gain from getting his name and badge number that had anything to do with the situation that they were currently in? She wasn't trying to understand the situation and the laws of the land that they were in. They were in another state. You're not familiar with the laws. Ask questions where you're going to get answers that could help you in the situation. She wasn't asking that. From jump, her questions was, oh, you're mistreating me, so I want your name and badge number. She came off completely wrong. And I also said, far as the male, if I was in that situation, he knows her better than the cop does. Hey, listen, hun, just sign this. It's not admission of guilt. He read it. He can explain it to her better than the cop can. It's not admission of guilt. Let's just sign this, move on. It's no big deal. I mean, if she couldn't read it and comprehend it for herself, then I think he should have stepped in and did it. But she didn't even try. She didn't try to read the ticket. She didn't try to understand the situation and the circumstances. She just felt it was harassment because it was an inconvenience to them. We got to do better than this. Our leaders can't fight on situations like this. This wasn't one of those situations. Leave this alone and let it play out. They'll go to court and get it all sorted out, whatever the case may be. But I saw no wrong done by this officer. How else was him alone supposed to handle this situation? I don't understand. How was he supposed? He should have gave. Only thing I hear people saying, he should have gave them a pass. He didn't have to write the ticket. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to do that. She didn't have to escalate the situation. She could have asked more intelligent questions. She could have asked better questions. She could have asked her partner, if she's with him, I would assume she trusts that man if she's in his presence alone. Ask him, hey, what did the ticket say? I don't know, maybe she couldn't read, not to disrespect, but I'm being a realist about this. She didn't make no attempt to read the ticket. Why? Why not try and read and understand why this officer is approaching you? Like I said, her questions weren't to understand the situation. Her questions like, you're bothering me. Why are you bothering us? And the male was more level-headed about it. And like I said, I feel he read the ticket and understood the situation. So now if she chose not to sign, that's her right. That's her right. And same situation I was in, said it's just admission, it's not admission of guilt. It's just saying that you received the ticket. I said, what if I don't sign? He said, I'll have to take you to jail. Flipped the ticket over, said, give me a second. Flipped the ticket over, read it myself, signed it. When I left, called my attorney. He explained it to me the same way the cop explained it to me. I was good with the situation. And like I said, I never heard another lick about it again. So, I mean, I don't understand what card we're playing with this or why we're riding this out, but this is a bus that we should get off of. I see him as doing his job. I didn't see he did anything wrong. If you feel it's something that I didn't cover, hit it in the comments. I'll address it. But, I mean, his instructions, multiple times he gave her, questions she answered, multiple times he answered them. Free to walk around, back and forth, never searched neither one of them, putting his own life in jeopardy. But people still say he could have handled it differently. Like I said, I feel he was very, very patient. He was there alone. When she refused, his job was to arrest her. Because when you refuse to sign the ticket, you have to get taken to court and it gets sorted out right then and there rather than having a court date. So that's why he had to take her in. He asked her to put her hands behind her back. She wouldn't. Homie didn't even tell her, hey, listen, he's trying to arrest you because you made a decision. I'm not signing. These are the consequences. You can't flip the script later after he didn't ask you 3+ times. Are you signing? Are you signing? Are you signing? Now when he pulls the cuffs out, okay, I'll sign. Life isn't a game. You pay attention, you read, you comprehend, you understand the situation and what's going on, and then you act accordingly, what's in your best interest and for your safety as well. She figured, I'm a woman, he's a man, he ain't gonna cuff me. Come on, why put that man in that situation? He's doing his job. That's all I saw. That's all I saw. I didn't see any discrimination. I didn't see him handle it improperly. As a man, he was strong enough where he could have bent her arms and cuffed her. He didn't. He didn't do that because he didn't want to do that. But where was her compliance? She made her decision. I'm not signing. I'm not signing. That was her final word. He gave last chance. I'm not signing it. So he had to do what he had to do. So, excuse me, like I said, y'all tap in. If you feel I missed anything, I've dissected this piece by piece. And I'm kind of disappointed in our leaders, like saying what this man should have done with he's already in a bad situation, a black man as a cop. I could probably imagine what he goes through on a daily basis, not just in public, but with his coworkers. And like I said, I looked at every inch and every minute of it. I don't see what he did wrong. And to be honest with you, this is my personal opinion. She was a bitch. She was a bitch about the whole situation. Like, he didn't come off fucked up at all. He was just doing his job. He was direct. He said what needed to be said. Maybe he didn't have a happy face. He wasn't smiling or joking or giddy with them, but he's doing his job. And I didn't see any disrespect from him whatsoever. I could go on and on and on about this because, like I said, I didn't watch this front to back over and over and over again. And at the end of the day, to me, it's about being fair. Was he fair? He gave her multiple opportunities. If you think it's anything I missed, like I said, or you feel differently, tell me. Please explain to me what this man did wrong. And please don't say he could have. What he could have done. Look at how many opportunities he gave both of them. And like I said, keep this in mind. He didn't search either one of them, and he didn't search that vehicle. Keep that in mind. Let's be fair here. It's about being fair. The circumstances are all recorded. You see how everything played out. Fair is fair. I feel he was very fair. He was very patient. I don't know how else he could have handled it with the situation as it played out. Now, I know you people, like I said, are going to say he didn't have to do this. He didn't have to do that. If they would have just stayed with respectful communication, more so from her end, they would have both had a ticket. They would have both signed it. They would have went on their way. It wouldn't have been the night that it turned out to be. So, like I said, tap in, LDI, let's discuss it, Dave Deluxe. This has been bothering me, so I felt I had to address this. And tell me how y'all feel about it. Tap in. Let's go.